Welcome back to Action 2 News at 6. St. Norbert College in De Pere is planning another round of job cuts.
Officials could not confirm how many people or positions would be affected, but in a statement, the college says this is part of a retrenchment last year that allows the college to let faculty go when their program is discontinued. The college laid off 55 people in the spring and fall of 2023. It's not known exactly when the college will announce the latest round of cuts, but students and families were told in a letter last month to expect an announcement this month.